And most importantly, Lynn and Marley got engaged.
I know. Can we believe it?
Yes. You texted me, I was not surprised at all. I just went, "Oh, good."
That was that was your reaction.
Well, it's like, I'm just not surprised. Like, of course you guys were gonna get engaged. It's just I'm just so happy that it happened now.
I know. I'm like not surprised either. I just was surprised on the day. Like
I
it
know.
was gonna
Can you
be
talk
that
us through
day.
it?
Yeah, I can. Do you want the long version or the short version? The medium version, I'll
I
give.
want the snacks version.
Okay. So me and Marley have been together, obviously, forever. For our listeners, it's been 8 or 9 years. And I felt like I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was going to be that day, or I actually didn't think it was going to be this time he was here, because I've always told him I wanted to be back home in Australia. Like we go to this like beach all the time. And I was like, I want it right here. He didn't listen to me. The day before the proposal, he was hanging out with one of our good friends who lives here in New Jersey. And he said, we're going to go to the park with the dog. And I was like, that's amazing. I'll be at training. I wish I was there with you guys. Little did I know that they were just scouting out spots to propose to me. The whole time he's been here, he's been like dropping like little tidbits of
Yeah.
stuff of like, I posted that video of on Instagram where we like set up the camera and then step
Yeah.
back and do like a fit check.
When I saw that first one, I was like, I thought that was it. I thought he was gonna do it then.
I didn't. We've done that before. We just have never
I
posted about it.
know.
So I'm like, so it like really wasn't that big a deal. So he did that, and then the friends that he was scouting the park with, they had just got engaged like maybe like 6, 7, 8, I don't know, however many months ago. And we got them a picnic basket for their engagement. So she was like, we should go to the park to have a picnic. We really want to use this picnic basket. And I'm like, yeah, this sounds beautiful, because the next day was our off day. So they were like, well, we should go to the park. He told me the night before, I want to take pictures. We haven't taken a picture together yet since I've been here. So it made me think like, oh yeah, like let's take pictures, and like I'll get a little bit dressed up, all this stuff. So it's our off day. And mind you, he doesn't have any service because he's obviously from Australia. So he's like, I'm just going to go on Wi Fi the whole time. So that day I was like, I really want to pamper us. So I'll get my nails done and you get a pedicure. That worked out in his favor. That just happened to be a coincidence for myself. So we're getting my nails done, and I told him like we were going to go at 12, but the nail lady called and was like, we have to push it back. He's starting to panic in his head because he has like everything down to like the minute of what's supposed to be happening. So I'm like, it has to be pushed back to 12:30. And he's like, yeah, it's totally fine. Totally fine. So then we do
But
that.
meanwhile, he's like typing away ferociously on his phone in the nail salon.
Yeah. Being like, we
We're
got to push
pushing
this
it back.
just like relax, blah, 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 all the stuff to the people who are trying to help plan it. And so then after that, we come back to the apartment to change, because he goes, are you going to wear that? And I was like, what do you mean? Like,
Well,
we're
I
going
guess
to the
not.
park. I know. I was like, we're going to the park. They're bringing their dog. He's like, they're not bringing the dog. The dog is going to eat all the food. And in my head, because every time we've gone to the park with Finn, I'm like, oh yeah, like that sounds pretty logical. Like the dog will
Yeah.
eat the food, and that's probably going to be a hassle. So they won't bring him. So we go into the closet and he's like, why don't you wear this dress? But it's like so too dressy. And I'm like, no, we're going to the park.
We're gonna be laying around in the dirt.
Yeah. So I had already had those white pants on. So I just like grabbed this matching set that goes with it. And I was like, I'll just wear this. So me wearing white just was also another coincidence that worked out in his favor. So I'm kind of like dicking around upstairs, and he's like, we have to go. And I'm like, oh yeah, so sorry. Like, so we get all the way downstairs to the car, and I go, oh my gosh, I forgot the car keys. So he goes, are you serious? And like I said, he only has like Wi-Fi. So every time we get back into the apartment, he's texting them like, okay, wait, like
Yeah.
you have to wait a second. Like we're going to be a little bit later. So he's panicking me. I'm like, it's only going to take 5 more minutes. Like, let's go back upstairs, get the keys, come down. But thank God I did that, because he forgot the tripod. That's like the key, most central part to this proposal. So we finally get the keys. We go back downstairs, and the friends call me that we're supposed to be going to the picnic with, and they're like, we got in a fender bender, but the car that hit us is not in good shape because the car behind them hit them. So we have to wait for the police to come. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you guys okay? This is all a made up story, but I'm like, oh my gosh, are you guys okay? Like, take your time. We're going to still go, but like if you guys are going to be a little bit late, totally fine. So Marley wanted me not to even have on my radar that they might be at the park. So if for some reason saw them, it wouldn't register in my brain that it was them. which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so then they called a little bit later after that, and they were like, "Look, the police like are taking a long time. We're not going to be there." And so I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." But like, you guys can come in my head. I'm like, "You guys can just come over later." So we're driving, and now I'm taking the wrong turns. He again is like, "Are you serious?"
Because these friends realistically are already at the park with everything set up waiting for you.
Exactly. And so we're late, and Marley's obviously panicking too because he's just like, "I want this to go smoothly. I'm stressed. I want to do it already. I'm panicking. So like I want to get this over with." And I'm
Yeah.
just like prolonging this, unfortunately for him. But I'm like, what's the big deal? Like they're not there anywhere anyways. We're not in a rush. Like, so I'm like taking like the scenic route to the park, Liberty State Park. So we finally get there, and he has already scoped it out. He knows exactly where I need to park. He knows the exact route he has to take me on, blah, blah, blah. And so he starts setting up the camera, and he's like, "Go over there, like get into frame. Let me see if you're in frame." And he's like distracting me. So I'm like looking out at the city. I've never been to the Liberty State Park. I've never seen the Statue of Liberty, all these things. So I'm just oblivious. At one point in my head, I think, "Oh my gosh, there's all these people sleeping in the park. This is a beautiful park." It's his friend. It's literally his friend just laying in a bush. I just can't see his face.
Sorry. So you mean like there's people out like tanning, like
Yeah, they're
enjoying the
tanning like
sun.
under trees. Yeah.
Right. Enjoying the sun. It's not like a bunch of people sleeping in the park. It's just
No,
like
no, no,
people
no. It's
out
just like
enjoying the
people.
weather, enjoying the nice
Yeah, like
park. And you see this guy and it's actually Marley's friend, but you don't recognize him because you weren't expecting them to be
because
there.
I wasn't expecting. I didn't see his face, but his
Yeah.
body's laying down, and I'm like, "This is an incredible park.
Lovely.
Like, we should come here more often." So, anyways, we like do a first take of like the proposal or whatever, like the fit check, which is like actually a
Yeah.
very cute video. I might post it one day. And then we go back, and I don't know how he does it, but like I'm staring at the phone, looking at like the first take, and he is like fumbling with the ring in his pocket and also like giving the thumbs up to his friend because they're like the photographer.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then we go out. He gets on one knee and asks, and I'm in like complete shock. He had a whole speech he wanted to say. He forgot everything. And then and then yeah, so then he like pulls out sand from the beach from back home, and there's like two shells that one last time I was there I got him, and then the very first visit I like picked this shell and gave it to him, so he like brought both of
Oh.
them. So it was like very sweet, but we like laugh at the video because it looks like he's like christening my feet with sand, and I'm like, what
You
is
just
going on?
start dumping the sand all around your feet and you're kind of like, what are you
I
doing?
know, I like back up in the video. I'm like, what is happening? But no, it was like beautiful. Then we like actually had a picnic, and then went to dinner, and called all the people. I think actually
Yeah.
we were supposed to record snacks, but we postponed that day.
Yes.
So yeah, it was very sweet.
It sounds so thoughtful and so you guys. The pictures are beautiful. The
Thank
video is
you.
beautiful. You guys already have such a beautiful relationship, and I'm just so happy for you that
Oh, thank
you
you.
guys are doing this now.
I know it like I don't know if you and Pat felt this way when you finally decided like, okay, we're gonna get married, but I just feel like we're even more connected. Like it's
Yeah.
like we have always been a team, but I feel like we are like, no, this is us. This is our little family. We are a team. And I can only imagine like what's gonna feel when we're married. But even our families, I think like his dad is like, my daughter-in-law. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I know
Yeah.
you guys' families are both so wonderful, and I know you're really close to Marley's family, and he's really close to your family, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's also just such a gift.
I know. So I think, have been way even more excited than us. They're like, finally. My
So
nephew's like,
then
"I've been waiting forever," and I'm like, "I'm sure it was really hard for you." Yeah.